Hello, America. This is Dean Barwick, your host for the Money Talk Show, and I am the president of Acquire Capital Management. Hey, today we're gonna do part two, or I should say, mistake number 11, part one, on how to avoid the top 12 IRA and legacy planning mistakes. And of course, my company is Acquire Capital Management. We are a registered investment advisory firm in the state of California, and we're located in Southern California. I'm also the host for the Money Talk Show, and that's broadcast all over the world through the internet. But if you're living in any of the 50 United States and you're not in Southern California, or even if you are, and you're looking for an investment advisor, you're looking for somebody to give you the type of help that we discuss in our broadcast, please go to themoneytalkshow.com. And there is a advisor referral service. If there's a page, or most of the posts will have a button you can click on, and you fill out your name, your email address. They do not sell any email address, and the Money Talk Show does not sell products, so you're not going to be hit with spam or anything like that. Anyway, put in your information, tell us a little bit about yourself, and I recommend putting in your phone number, and here's why. A staff member from the Money Talk Show will call you and just interview you, talk to you, find out what your likes and dislikes are, find out what you're looking for and the type of advisor you'd like to work with. And then what they'll do is the Money Talk Show will call advisors in your local area and try to come up with 1 to 3 advisors that seem like they're a pretty good fit. And that will help you in narrowing down your search and finding somebody that you can work with. That's a free service. Now, they also offer financial workshops all across the country. These are phenomenal workshops. They're really great. They're taught by financial professionals. There's no product sold. It is not a sales presentation. It is purely educational. And they're taught on subjects like Social Security, what to expect, the different laws and changes there to help you out. Also, the IRA and legacy planning, many different, very powerful topics that America needs right now. So if you're interested and you'd like to attend one of these free workshops, on themoneytalkshow.com, of course, is a financial workshop resource. There's usually a button, or there's a page there you can click on, and it's the same type of a contact form. Put in your name, put in your email address, the zip code or area that you'd like to find a workshop in, and what's of interest to you, what topics you'd like to learn about. And they'll send you out an email when there's going to be one in your area. So that's a great tool as well. Also, there is Ask a Question. If you have any questions during any of these broadcasts, go to that resource, ask your question. We'll answer it as soon as we can. We're going to start doing some live interviews on the broadcast. We might even call you up with your permission and talk to you about that question and answer it while we're doing a broadcast. But if we get enough questions on the same topic, we'll also send you an email when we're going to go really in depth on that specific topic. So that'll be a great service to you as well. Anyway, take advantage of that. We're Acquire Capital Management here in Southern California, but this service is provided all over the country. Okay, I want to say something. Retirement has changed. It used to be that people were planning to live to be 70 years old, and now you got to plan for 30 to 40 years in retirement. You cannot afford mistakes or losses. And this next session we're doing on the mistake number 11, which is, and we'll go into that in a minute, it's a 2-part session, and but it's very vital, especially if you're looking or if you're concerned about outliving your money. You're looking, for the potential of 30 to 40 years in retirement, and you've got to have that income to sustain you. This next section is very important. And this is number 11, IRA and legacy planning mistake: failing to control and allocate your assets. And people, I have to tell you, if you fail to control and allocate your assets properly, it can be disastrous for your financial planning, your IRA, and your legacy planning. So let's go ahead and get started with this, okay? Let's talk about controlling your assets. And what does that mean? Well, I think one of the worst things, and I see it's actually very common. I meet with clients, and they've left the firm that they used to work at, they have a 401k, and they kind of figure, hey, leave well enough alone. If it's not broken, don't fix it, right? Sometimes that makes a lot of sense, but not when you're talking about your 401k and your retirement assets. You need to take control. So what does that mean? When you leave that company, when you no longer work there, then your money should not be there either. 401ks are great, awesome vehicles while you're working at a company. They've got some great benefits to them. You get tax deferred growth. You get to put your money in pre-tax. An IRA can do the same thing. But the nice thing about a 401k is sometimes your employer is going to give you matching contributions, and that's free money. You cannot beat that. However, there are a lot of fees in 401ks, and your investment choices can be very, very limited. Okay, so you don't want to leave your money. If you have money in a 401k, you need to talk to an investment advisor, find out what choices you have by rolling that into an IRA. But deal with somebody who's going to give you some good advice, an investment advisor, somebody who's paid by fee, not by commission, who's going to recommend some good choices to you. And then we're going to go into the asset allocation a little bit later, and that's important. But hey, let's look at some quotes here. Ed Slott says, and Ed Slott, top CPA in the nation for teaching taxation in regards to retirement income, IRAs, 401ks, that type of thing. He says, give heirs the opportunity to accumulate tax-deferred wealth. Potentially high 401k fees can eat into retirement savings, particularly when the stock market is down. Now, this gentleman, Leo Bellafleur, a 62-year-old retired sales executive from Princeton Junction, New Jersey, says that he participated in 8 401k plans during his employment and eventually rolled each one over to an IRA. And he stated, I totally felt that I had more choices. And that's very, very accurate. The strategic asset allocation. The strategic allocation among asset classes is more important than choosing the actual stocks and bonds that you will own. Now, that's very important to understand. A lot of people don't realize, they're at the water cooler, they're talking about stocks, they want to make the right pick, and all that's great. But you know something? Asset allocation is responsible for 93.6% of the portfolio growth of your investments. Understanding this is a must for your IRA and legacy planning. Now, timing the market or market timing, it's only about 1.7%. Selecting the right securities is about 2.5%. And then there's other factors that come out to about 2.2%. Now, when you think about it, where do most people spend their time in investment planning, right? They spend it in the selection of the security. And what does that really do for them? Well, I'll tell you, it does. 2.5% of the outcome is controlled by the selection of the security. So where should they really be spending most of their time? It's in the asset allocation. And this is where a good fee-based registered investment advisor or investment advisor representative comes in to focus on your desired risk tolerance, your time horizon, to make sure that your assets are strategically allocated to accomplish your IRA and legacy planning goals. Now, this is part one, and the reason we made this part one and part two is because the asset allocation we're going to go into a little bit deeper. It's important. You've got to control your assets. Get them out of those old 401ks. Get them into an IRA that leaves you with the ability to make choices. Work with a good investment advisor who's working on a fee-based platform, not on a commission platform, so you can really trust that the advice that they're giving you. And in our next post, we're going to go into the asset allocation a little bit more, but you have to understand that the asset allocation is more important than choosing the individual stocks and bonds or other investments that you're going to own. Okay, now we're going to go into the different types of asset allocation and more different information a little bit deeper with that on part 2. So part 1, we just wanted to cover take control and understand how important asset allocation is. Hey, listen, that's our time for today's segment. I know it's a little short. We'll make up for it in part 2. And let me say this, if you have any questions, please go to the Money Talk Show and fill your information out there, and we'll be happy to get that back to you right away. If you are looking for an advisor in your area, we'll take care of that as well. Fill that out. We'll help you find somebody. You've got to choose them. You've got to be comfortable with them, but we'll do some homework and make sure they are qualified and that they do provide fee-based business. And then, hey, if you'd like to attend one of the workshops, please let us know that as well. Until next time, America, we will talk to you soon. Bye-bye now.